Hey, Derek G Photography. I wanted to review an interesting product that I bought the other day, and I bought this with my own money. So this is the SMALLRIG. It's a 10W Max. What is it? It's a flashlight, you know? It's what it is, it's a flashlight. I spent my own money on this. I was not sent this product from SMALLRIG. So this is a true review of this product. Let's talk about this light really quickly and about what it does. It's an LED flashlight and it has 4 different colors, right? So here, I'll kind of shine it over there so you can see. I think that's like an orange, we have a blue, we have a white, and we have a red. And in my opinion, in photography, those tend to be the colors that I shoot for most of the time. About, I would say 80 to 90% of my portraiture that contains a color contains one of those 4. So let's talk about what are the benefits of this little flash light bulb. I'm calling it the light bulb flash LED. The first is that it's extremely small. So, I mean, this thing is really, really small. Comes with this really cool bag, and it takes up a very small footprint. When I'm out and about and I'm shooting, I tend to be one of those photographers that doesn't like to carry a ton of lighting gear with me when I'm shooting video or when I'm shooting stills. I like to pack light unless the project dictates that I need to bring very, very big soft boxes or very big lights. I shoot a lot of big soft boxes and lights in studio, but I don't necessarily like to take those out. So the nice thing about this is that it is super small, right? Very, very small. It fits into a camera bag. It's not gonna take up a lot of real estate. I'd rather save that real estate, honestly, for the camera or maybe 2 cameras and a couple lenses. And then I think about, you know, well, how many lights do I want to bring? One or 2, and you tend to go small, and this is the perfect size. The other thing that I like about this light is that it's extremely well built. I mean, this thing feels like a tank. You know, if I'm out and about and I want to hit somebody over the head with them, I could probably knock them out because this light is very, very strong and durable. So the nice thing about it, and I haven't tested it, right? It'd be nice to do a drop test to see if this thing could survive drops, because lights tend to fall sometimes when you're out and about on your shoots. It feels like this light could take a beating and keep on kicking. The third thing that I like about this light is that it's really easy to turn it on, and it's easy to set it up with these gobos. And I'm gonna walk through that with you really quickly. So basically, to turn this light on, you hold this button for, I think it's like 3 seconds or so, until the light turns green, and then you rotate it until the light turns on, right? And now it's pretty easy to turn it on, right? It's kind of like a flashlight, you know, it's what it is. Now, the really cool thing about this is that it comes with these gobos. To put these on, basically, it also comes with this really cool gobo attaching unit. And basically how to attach a gobo is real easy. So you take this unit and you put the gobo, like you snap it in to the unit like this. Come on, come on. So literally took 2 seconds to put that in there. And then what I can do is I can simply mount this to the flash like that, and now it's ready to go. So now the really cool thing about these gobos is that you can create these really cool window effects. So if you see behind me, you know, I could set this thing up and I can create interesting window effects. Now let me see, is that as bright as it goes? It blinks if it goes too high, and it can't go any higher, and it blinks when the power goes too low. So this is the highest power right here, and I gotta say, like, it adds an interesting amount of ambient light right there. And so I have this set on the orange. You can tell my room is, my studio is set at a purplish blue, so that actually the color contrast on that is actually pretty interesting. So took 2 seconds to set up. Really, really like that about this flash. Now, if you're out, once again, if you're out on a shoot and you want to get a quick light out, you can absolutely do that within seconds, and you can just get this thing going. The fourth thing that I do like about this is the quick color changes, right? So there's orange, press a button, goes to blue, you know, press a button, goes to white, press a button, and it goes to red. Super easy to configure. You don't need to take extra gels out onto the field with you. It's just ready to go, which is really cool. So those are the things that I really did like about the flash. And now let's talk about a couple of the things that I didn't like about this flash. So the first is, yes, this light is expensive, right? I think I spent $50 on this light. And $50 for a light, I mean, you know, when it comes to photography, everything tends to be a little bit more on the expensive side, I think. So a $50 light relative to some of the other lights that are in my studio, like my Amarans, that yes, this is definitely more affordable than that. But I would say $50, that's a lot of money. Some of the comments that I've seen with regards to this particular light have been about, well, geez, why can't you just buy a flashlight? In fact, we probably all have flashlights in our house, right? Buy a flashlight. I mean, I mean, you could probably get away with making something that could attach your own homemade gobos to a flashlight. And then with regards to the front of the flashlight, you can get some gels, you know, just gel the front of the flashlight. And now you kind of have a comparable product, right? So, I mean, the benefit there is that you're probably already in for the flashlight. And if not, you can go buy a flashlight for $10, $20. That's brighter than this one. This is only 10 watts. And then you could kind of modify it to your liking instead of spending a $50 for a solution that's already self-contained. Now for me, I tend to, you know, I've done some of the projects myself, kind of cool, but sometimes it's nice to go back and just say, hey, manufacturer, give me a product that does this. And then you can kind of just put it in your bag and go. That's what I did. But for the convenience of that, you're paying $50 for what I consider to be a glorified flashlight. So just keep that in mind. Another thing that I didn't like about this light, and I don't know if this is a disadvantage or not, but it is not, these gobos are not as sharp as something that would come off of the Lindsay Adler optical spot, which is what I use in studio all the time. The Lindsay Adler optical spot is a different product. It's a lens with a gobo, and those sit in front of a light. And with the lens, you are allowed to sharpen or blur the effect of the gobo. You can make the gobos more well-defined with sharpness, or you can blur those effects. You're kind of limited with this because this is simply a gobo that sits in front of a light. And since you don't have that lens to adjust that sharpness, you're kind of stuck with the blur or the sharpness of the particular gobo that you're using. So for example, I did this before, but I'll do it again. So let's go ahead and shine that. So if you see that window in the background, super cool. And you dial it down a little bit, and it's still a really cool effect. But if you notice the sides of the light, it's not very sharp. And with the Lindsay Adler optical spot, you're going to get that sharpness. And with the Lindsay Adler optical spot, you can create that blur as well if that's your intended effect. Now we'll say this light's $50. Lindsay Adler's optical spot is $400, I think. There are products in between the Lindsay Adler optical spot and this light that do something similar with the sharpness, but they're more expensive. For $50, this is still a pretty darn cool product to take out in the field and create these quick gobo effects. The third con, and I do consider this to be a con, is even while this light has 4 cool colors, it doesn't have more than 4, right? So we're now into the age of RGB lights where you can basically tune in any color you want, right? Any color in the color gamut, which is kind of cool. This limits you to 4 colors. So compared to my Amarans in studio, which I use for a lot of my studio work, I can get any color that I want off of my Amarans. And I'm limited to 4 colors on this flash. Again, in the field, it's not a big deal to me because I tend to focus on the colors that this light includes. I wish it had a purple. I wish it had a green. If it had those 2 colors on top of what's available with this, I think this would be it, right? I don't think I'd need another light in the field because those are the colors I tend to use. I still plan on taking this light out when I'm shooting. Oh, another cool thing that it does, so basically you can pull this right here, you can open this up, you can close it like that, and basically what that does is it makes the beam more direct and more open, so kind of cool. Yeah, so that's my review of this product. So would I buy this product? Well, I did. The thing is, I didn't buy this product to review it. I bought this product to use it. But then when I started using it, I'm like, okay, there's some things I don't like about it, and I figured I'd share it with you. Derek G Photography, signing out. Peace.